Hey guys, this is Kedian again. I'm here to tell you guys that you should start whatever the hell you're trying to do. Man, I can't tell you how many people I know that just say things and say they're gonna do this and say they're gonna do that and do nothing at all. A year later, I see the same people saying the same thing, talking the same shit, and not doing anything. So I'm here to give you guys some tips on that, and please take action, because you can listen to anything you want in the world. You can learn anything you want in the world, and if you don't do anything with it, you won't get anywhere. One of my mentors said, I love hearing him, I love saying this, Sherman Brown, he actually says, with information and no application, it's just fascination. But with information and some application, it creates transformation. Everything happens once you do both. So you got to apply knowledge and you got to do. So what I want to do with you guys today is I want to tell you to just start. Whatever it is, whether you want to lose weight, you want to lose 30 pounds, just start. Whether you want to start your own business, just start. Whether you want to have a relationship right now, go find that person and start. If you're a man, go out tonight and go find the girl. If you're a woman, stop waiting for those guys to hit on you. Go find that guy and speak to him, man. For God's sakes, if you're not happy and you're depressed, that's a little hard for me to say. Depression isn't that easy to handle. But I can tell you right now that I've seen constant people go through depression and sadness and things like that. And honestly, it all starts with you. It's the way you interpret your life and the way you're accepting things. Anything that's in your life, you're actually bringing it towards you. So I would tell you right away, start being happy. You start smiling, you start realizing that that actually makes you happy. Start doing the things a happy person would be doing, and you'll see. Start doing things that you should be enjoying. I don't care where you're at. I don't want to hear your excuses. Just start. Do it already. I can't tell you how many people are having successes in all those realms already, coming from nothing. If you talk about it takes money to make money, guess what? There's homeless people who are billionaires today. Look at the guy who owns Jose Cuervo, the one I totally forgot his name, but he started the salon line, Paul Mitchell, and he's also the owner of Jose Cuervo. Dude is a billionaire, and he was homeless at one point, man. If he can do it, so can you. Richard Branson, he has dyslexia. He was able to learn how to read. He was able to start many companies coming from farmland in, I think it was in Europe. I totally forgot which country. It might have been Britain. It might have been England. I totally forgot. I was actually reading his book. And today, the guy is a multi-billionaire. It's not by accident. So do not lie to yourself. People do not get lucky becoming a millionaire and a billionaire. Because I guarantee you, if they got lucky, they're going to lose it. And I'm here to help you out with that. I'm here to just get you started, all right? So if you want to start a business, guess what? There's opportunities out there. You're just not seeking them. If there's many branches you can look into, I would recommend a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you should start reading that as soon as possible. It teaches you the mindset of the poor person and the mindset of the rich person and what's the difference. Now, this guy Robert Kiyosaki, he calls his biological father his poor dad, which is a highly educated professional, and he worked for the government as well, and yet he was always broke. He was a high salary earner, 6 figures easily, and yet he was always broke. And yet we had another person which he calls his rich dad, which is one of his best friends' father, and he hasn't passed away. He's actually teaching right now, and he basically says that his ideas were completely different from his own father's, and he calls him his rich dad. He taught him everything he knows about being a business owner and investor. And the mindsets are totally different. It all depends on how you see the world. It's not material things. It all comes from the invisible things. Another book that I want to recommend to you guys is The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon teaches you about how to handle money. Because the thing is, I could give you $1 million, but if you wasted $1 million, then you have nothing. You're still broke. And that's a big thing. People think that earning more money will get them in a better place, and it won't. It won't at all. it really depends on the fact that you can handle your money and produce more. Because if you're constantly getting it back, then you don't need to worry about it too much. You don't need to worry about that. That's actually the definition of wealth. It's not having $1 million. It's being able to produce it. Okay, so that's why lottery winners within 3 years, they're broke again, and they're actually worse. Another book I want to recommend for you guys to read is Steve Jobs, the biography of Steve Jobs. This I'm reading right now. I'm actually not done with it, and this shows you that anything is possible. Man, this guy, it's incredible the type of person he is. He does have a personality of a very unique personality, but it's very possible for anybody to do what he did. I mean, the guy practically dropped out of college, and he went to take the courses that he wanted. And he was an orphan. He comes from a family who was working class as well. If he can do all that, he was struggling with money a lot throughout his realm, and I'm still in the middle of the book. You can do it too, man. It all comes to the idea and knowing that it's possible. You can move on and do something, so you can start your business right away. If you want, you can easily learn how to create credit, borrow money, and do those things. Now, if you really want to know more about that, how to actually start business with low investment, or how to create credit, maybe get credit cards and increase your credit and things like that, you can always comment down below, maybe PM me, send me a private message, and maybe we'll talk about that. I am thinking of leaving a couple of those videos in the future where I get specific if you guys want. That has to do with business. However, when it comes to health, why don't you just start working out already? Why don't you just start? Give me 5 push-ups if you've never done one. Try and do one. Start. You won't get anywhere if you keep saying tomorrow I'm gonna do it, and then tomorrow comes and then you say the same thing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna do it. You're not gonna get anywhere. I know so many people, and it's funny that 97% of people are just average or below average, and that's crazy. It hurts me when I see these people that they're just doing below what they can do. And then there's the 3%, which are what? The guys that do the rest of the stuff that the 97 won't do. The only difference between the highly successful and the unsuccessful, whether we're talking about health, wealth, relationships, or happiness, is just that they're doing the things that the unsuccessful are not willing to do. That's it. Completely different. Man, if I can start doing the things that I'm doing and all of that change, you guys can all do it. I don't care who you are, especially if you're coming from a developed country. You have no excuse. One of my friends actually used to be Coworker. He came from Algeria, Algeria is in North Africa, for those who don't know, and he was facing constant terror every single day. He grew up with terrorists. He had bandits all over him. He's actually coming from the Berber tribe, Berber people, which are actually outcasts of the Algerian nation. Why? Because it's an Arab nation, and they actually look down upon the Berber people, and so they always live on the outside, the outskirts of the mainland, and they always get discriminated. So he lived through all of this all throughout his life, and he was able to get away from all of that. He was able to come to America and actually become a highly successful programmer. And if you guys know anything about programmers, they can make a lot of money. Not only that, but he works for the New York Stock Exchange. He's awesome, and I give my shout out to him. There's opportunity everywhere, guys. There's no reason for you to make excuses and say you can't do something. All you got to do is just start. When it comes to health, like I said, just start working out. Find that person that is doing that is exactly where you're at, where you want to be, or maybe even a little bit less. As long as they're further than you, and you need to take that step to the place they're at, to actually move on to the place you finally want to be at, then you need to go meet with that person, get with them, and do whatever they're doing. If somebody's in a better place than you are, you need to stop hating and start reaching out to them and telling them and asking them, what are you doing, so I can learn from you. That's what you need to start doing. Come from a humble place. You always need to come from a humble place. And because that's the only way people who are higher than you are actually going to teach you something. If you're coming from a place of hate, you're constantly going to talk shit about these people and say, oh, they got lucky, they did this and that, and they're so successful. I don't understand. I work so hard, yet they have so much. Listen, the reason they have so much is because they're doing much more than you. And that's just facts. The only reason somebody gets paid more or does more is because they're solving a lot more problems. And that's it. No problems, no money. I'm sorry, look at business. That's all they're doing. They're just solving the needs of people. Now, in relationships, you really got to take action. And there's a duality when it comes to this. When it comes to men, you guys need to stop being shy and actually go out there and talk to the woman you want. Not only that, you need to be much more assertive. And for the ones who are too assertive, you need to start rolling back and start calibrating, start realizing how you should be interacting with your mates. Whether you're gay, bisexual, whatever the hell you are, I don't care. You need to find out how to interact with them. But I'm coming from the realm of being a male, heterosexual male, so I speak from that realm. When it comes to women, you need to start find ways. Because I'm not an expert when it comes to women. However, I do know how they interact. And a lot of it sucks because of society. And it's like you don't want to come across as a slut or anything. But yet you still want to get the guys that you want and still be able to show interest, right? Well, guess what? You need to pick one or the other. You need to stop giving a fuck about what people think. And you start reaching out to the guys. Now, I say that with caution. I don't mean to say just go do everybody you want and no problems, because look, there's consequences to that. You can contract some STD or something like that. You can even get into problems with somebody that they're already talking to, whatever it may be. There's ways of going about it, you know. Use common sense, be smart about it, but you should start taking more action as well. You shouldn't be waiting for guys to approach you, because reality check, a lot of the guys you want won't approach you. And so I'm here to tell you, maybe use something of a signal or make it easier for that man to actually reach out to you. So that's a tip I would give out to you. And in relationships itself, you need to make men and women both need to make a very, very a deeper understanding of each other. They need to learn how to listen to the other, because that's the biggest relationship breaker right there, communication. And it tends to be because one person thinks in one way and the other person thinks in another. For example, if you read the book, The 5 Love Languages, you'll realize that people communicate in different ways. Some people like to be praised or like to be given gifts or like to be complimented all the time, or like physical touch. And this is what it comes across. And I'm not here to say it's completely right. I'm here to say that there's some truth there. I know many people, men and women, that both like to be appreciated by giving gifts. And that's just the way they communicate. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that, okay, here, this means, wow, they love me. Today they gave me a present, they gave me flowers. Wow, I know they love me. Yet, if you speak to a man like myself, for example, physical touch and words actually affect us a lot. And that can be different for every person. But I'll take this example. Somebody who you just say, you know what, I really enjoy my time with you. And that right there is enough to let that person know that you love them. That right there is enough communication. Now, if you guys have two different styles of communicating, you need to learn what the other person does. In this case, the person who likes words and compliments needs to be able to communicate with the person who likes gifts. So that person needs to get gifts and give it to them. And that person needs to learn how to use words instead of trying to give gifts, and use the words to communicate with them. So it sounds very obvious, but yet common sense is not common practice. Most people don't do what they know they should do. I always like to say, actually it comes from one of my mentors again, Cody Mackey. He said that every single person, every single man, every single woman here, and he was speaking to a crowd here, is 90 days away from having a six-pack abs. Yet why is it that most people don't have six-packs? And what he's trying to say is that everybody knows what to do. It's already ingrained. We've seen it. We've read the diets. We've read all of this. We know this. We just don't apply it. We don't have the discipline to continue. And so we need to learn these things and actually apply them. Like coming right back to what I said before, you need to apply. You need to apply. Knowledge is not enough. You need to apply. And guys, you just need to make sure you just start doing something. When it comes to happiness, you need to start appreciating. Appreciate what you do, because if you start really paying attention to the things you've already done, the things you already have, the people around you, you should realize that there's a lot going for you. I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care if you're coming from a different country. I don't care if you were born somewhere else. I don't care if you're black, white, Latino, Asian. I don't care if you're a girl, if you're a guy. You have a lot going for you. And I thought I heard somebody come in. And if you can't realize that, then that's the problem. You're not appreciating enough. Because I guarantee you have a mother or father. And even if they're shitty parents, guess what? You have somebody else in your life that loves you just as much. If you don't have anybody that loves you, guess what? You have yourself. And if you don't love yourself, that's where we should start. You should start loving yourself, because you're in control of that. And I don't know anybody that is completely that low, where everybody's just completely off to them. But it's giving you indicators. That's where you should start. That's what you should start doing. Start appreciating. Start appreciating the things you have. Because we're already in an era that's amazing. And I'm communicating with you through internet. You already have way more than people from the 1900s had. Do you understand that? You already have the benefit of having an apple, a tomato, different fruits from all across the world in one place. You can eat anything you want. All the treats. You can communicate with whoever you want. Right in one place from your computer. That's amazing. Do you not understand that? So you need to start appreciating what's here, what's now. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Today I try to keep it under 20 minutes. I'll have some shorter videos sometimes too. Let me know if you like longer or shorter videos. Comment down below. Click like, subscribe, add me on social media, ask me questions, and I look forward to speaking to you guys.